Why is that an oval? What the fuck? Why you no draw? Oh, I know what's happening. I get it. I get it. No, it's still not working. Hey, Pizza. How's it going? How was your day off? I mean, you got freaking McDonald's, you got to stay home from school. I would call that a successful day. It snowed all day and you were being lazy? I mean... why not? With 3 subs and getting pulled out of class early, but that's enough about me. How was your day? My day was pretty basic. Basic day. Nothing crazy. I'm like determined to finish this ish today. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, I know I'll finish eventually, but I want to finish, like, soon. I'm tired of working on this. There's so many other things I would like to work on, but this thing has consumed so much of my time. Also, I told my sister it'd be done today. So I think I'm in deep shit if it's not. I don't know, she's pretty mad at me already. You don't hear the things in the background. What's up, losers? Hey, Beebs. How's your work week so far? L? Oh no, what does that mean? You're not getting paid for sitting in your car? No work today either. Like, at all? Have I eaten? I have not. I had a really big lunch today. I'm not even sure I will eat today. You tell Momo and Flame they'll tell my parents. I don't think they care enough for that. But sure. Are you, like, making enough money to sustain yourself, though, Beebs? It sounds like things have been pretty inconsistent. You make like 900 this. That's really good. Okay, never mind. I'm not. Never mind. You're doing fine. Listen, bro. Every time I see my mom, she's like, "You're getting fat." Meanwhile, I weigh 122 pounds and I'm 5'4". I'm not fat. What do you mean by 15 by 58? Okay. Right? Right, Pizza? That's my face too. That's my face too. Meanwhile, my mom is like the same height as me and she weighs like 150 pounds or something like that. And she's like, I'm not overweight. I'm like, Mom, you're overweight. We're the same height. And you weigh more than me. I get it, you're older. But, I also get that you're sedentary. More than I am. All you need to know is that my mom, while a loving woman, can be kind of toxic sometimes. And that's all I'll say on the matter. It's one of those it is what it is kind of things. I mean, for some reason, my husband's mom is like the same way. He like bulked up over the last winter and spring, and then he lost weight before we went down to Florida. And she's like, when we saw him for Easter last season, she's like, "You're so fat, you put on so much weight." He really didn't. He put on like 10 pounds, and half of that was muscle. And she's like, "You were so fat, you need to lose weight." To be honest, like, I liked him when he was like, I can't even like call him thick because he wasn't fat. Like just having a little bit more volume around his like love handles. I liked it because it was like more to hug. When he leaned out in the summer, he was really thin, and I'm just like, I kind of liked him when he was a little more bulky. And again, it's not even that he was like fat or even close to it. Coming to visit next year? Coming to visit you? I didn't know that was the plan. Hi, Luna. Was this a plan? I mean, okay, if we come out skiing there, that's like a whole ordeal. Because that's not a cheap trip. That's a pretty pricey trip. So it's something that has to get planned out, like, usually very, very far in advance. So I will say for now, we're probably not. Because it's already December, and if we were planning a ski trip, it would probably be in, like, February. And this is not enough time to plan something like that. Let's not do that, BB. What the fuck? True. Dude, not for nothing, but Colorado ski trips and Utah ski trips are so expensive. I think the lift tickets are like pushing $200 a ticket for one day. For one day! Like, that's crazy in the grand scheme of things. For context, the mountains by me, if you get a ticket early in the season, you can literally get a ticket for the 3-day pass for less than $200. So like, Colorado tickets and Utah tickets are so expensive by comparison. Just like a lot of things in America. True, true, very true. Everything is getting very expensive. I totes agree. I totes agree, baby. I totes agree. Definitely not a fan of how expensive things have gotten. We need to turn back time on the economy. I mean, if only you could do that. Except you can't. Something is a bit off here, and I haven't figured out what it is this time. We need to kill 99% of the politicians reaching. I mean, it probably would be Pizza. Because typing to us in chat is a lot different than, like, hanging out in person. I mean, listen. The reality is that the world is run by the 0.01% elite, and they're all in conspiracy with each other, and they're all connected to each other either directly or indirectly. So it's kind of just like, what are you gonna do, in all honesty? Oh no. I did that all on one layer. Oh no. Well, let's do our best. Where did it go? I see. I understand now. Kirkification means? What do you... What is that? I don't know what that means. You need to understand, Pizza, and we've been through this many times. I am not up and up on the meme culture. Memes of Charlie Kirk. I can't comment on that because I, again, don't know much about it. I haven't heard much about, like, Kirkification, if that's what you're calling. So, my take on it is, I think it's just if it's done and to make fun of him or his family, then I think it's kind of disrespectful. It's not something that people should be making fun of. Man literally died. It's not something that people should make fun of. But the issue is that kids will be kids, and they have... Unfortunately, a lot of kids these days are very disrespectful. Exactly, and it's also that. It's the internet, so people are gonna do dumb shit all the time. What's interesting to me is that these people, kids, whatever, they do this. They make memes of somebody based on things that they've heard about a person or what others have told them. Most of these kids have never done any kind of research into who he and what he is or stood for on their own. They're only going off of what they've been told by others that know them, or assumptions that they make based on seeing clips of something. And I think it's really unfortunate that that's where a lot of kids, unfortunately, nowadays get their information from. It's sad, truthfully, that people just take things at face value or by what others tell them. He was in the political realm. He was supporting the president, but a lot of what I've seen about him is kind of overblown or inaccurate, in my opinion. And to make fun of someone's death when you have politicians right now who are literally pulling the wool over people's eyes, stealing from them, and all these other terrible things, and nobody bats an eyelash when a political speaker gets shot who has... Yeah, he's got some weight in the game, but not as much as somebody who's actually an elected official. Yeah, I would just say, I guess the long story short, I don't care who it is. Whether you disagreed with his politics or not, it doesn't merit hundreds of memes being made of him. Like, he wasn't a dictator. He wasn't a supervillain. He was just a guy who was trying to have political discourse. Oh, I'm aware, Pisa. I'm aware. I tried to keep conversation of this topic off the channel intentionally. Because I knew how divisive the conversation was. If you've noticed, like, my brother and I, and my sister as well. My sister more so because she's not very in tune with the political atmosphere. In general, she's just not a very political... She's a pretty apolitical person. She used to be more political, but that was mostly because she was just parroting things that she heard when she was in school. As she's gotten older, she's become more apolitical. Alright, how does this layer work? Which I think is honestly for the better, because if I'm being honest, I would consider a lot of her takes when she was in college and just kind of spewing things that she heard or was parroting things that her friends said were pretty uninformed. I won't say all of them were uninformed, but a lot of it was. A lot of it was based on essentially rage bait. I mean, if I'm being honest, I think everybody should be politically aware. In my opinion, there should be no reason why you shouldn't be involved in politics. I'm not saying, like, you have to be actively involved as in, like, going out and, you know, campaigning for your local electors, but I think everybody should try to keep informed. It's just so hard to keep informed without being misled or things being skewed in some way or form with the landscape of today's media. Today's media is all about sensationalism. I mean, media has always been about sensationalism, but I feel like it has gotten notably worse in the past 5 to 10 years. Everything is just hard one way or the other. A lot of my way or the highway, and I don't think that's how proper political discourse should happen. People should be allowed to have their opinions, even if they're differing opinions from yours, and that's totally fine, but you should be able to have the conversation about it. If you are unwilling to have that conversation, if you are unwilling to hear other people's opinions, then you may as well just be, you know, a parrot in an echo chamber. Just shooting off random shit that you hear. You don't know any meaning behind it. You don't know any nuance behind it. And the issue is that in today's political climate, if you have a dissenting opinion on what is considered the status quo or popular, you just immediately get browbeat into place and you're not allowed to have that opinion. So because of that, I try to keep politics off this channel, and the same reason that my brother keeps politics off of his channel, because we don't enjoy the idea of being told that we have to conform to... What the heck layer is that on? Ah, I see. That we have to conform to how others feel about our opinions. You know, we give our opinions when we feel it's a loose enough topic, but for the most part, we're trying to keep out of any kind of hostile environment because we just understand that it doesn't matter what side your opinion is on, someone is always going to try and be hostile with you in this environment, and we don't want to foster that. We like having political discourse if you're going to talk about a topic that's political, and if people are unwilling to do that, if they're unwilling to listen and hear and share, then it's not worth the aggravation for us to try and have those conversations. And our opinions might shift. They may become more political as time moves, but for now, that's the stance that we're taking on things. We do not feel it is in our best interest to share our opinions on a lot of subjects. Just because of how polarizing everything is. If we lived in a time and space where it was totally okay to have these conversations and that other people would enter the chat in a respectful way, then we'd be more open to doing it. But we've observed far too much hostility in the streamer space and have no interest in having these kinds of conversations if we're going to be met with hate. No, I wouldn't even classify myself as a Republican. To be completely clear, like, if anything, like, if you want me to put myself into any kind of political realm, I would say I'm center-right. I wouldn't say that I'm a Republican. I have a lot of liberal progressive views on social issues, but then also a lot of my views are also rooted in traditionalism. So, like, that's just like the broad strokes of it. I believe that the law is the law and that you should follow the law. And if you don't like the law, then you make efforts to try and legislate and change it. You don't just break it and expect people to forgive you. That's how I see it. The law should not be considered a suggestion, I guess is how I view it. And unfortunately, in today's day and age, a lot of people take law as suggestions. And that's not how you run a civilized society. Oh, Pisa. We may be, quote-unquote, the most intelligent beings, but we are by no means sophisticated. Violence is still something that is rooted in humanity, and we see it on a daily basis. Always time to go back to memes. I just think it's really sad that it is extremely difficult to have any kind of political or social conversation without fear of being threatened. Let's just start with that. Like, just threatened. To be honest, like, BB, I don't care if somebody wants to bully me. I'm genuinely concerned more so for... If somebody wants to say mean things to me in the chat, I don't give a shit. Go off. You're just an internet meme lord in my mind. But my bigger concern would be, like, if someone starts threatening my family, if someone starts threatening my viewers, that's unacceptable behavior, and I can't control that. I can't control if you guys enjoy watching me and my brother, and someone comes in with a dissenting opinion and just starts doxing and threatening you guys. I can't control that. And because of that, I don't want to, you know, foster a political commentating environment. Oh yeah, don't fear the troll. I mean, it's not even the troll. It's more like, I just want to protect this space. You know? My brother and I have worked hard this past year to create this space, and while it's small and there's only a few of you, we value that, and we value the fun that we have here, and we don't want it to be tainted by just general nastiness. It's not what we're about. Like, the whole reason we became VTubers, the whole reason we stream is because we want to create a space that's fun and enjoyable and where people can freely talk about things. But if other people are going to try and ruin that over politics because of their suicidal politics, then I don't necessarily want that. Though I have toyed with the idea of getting husband on stream to do some kind of debate stream, because, like, honestly, I think that him and I have, like, my husband would probably identify as a liberal progressive, an economically minded liberal progressive. I think that would be, like, the best way to put my husband. I wouldn't call him a liberal extremist. I wouldn't call him far left at all. He's definitely not he's definitely not, like, super socialist in that my husband a gay. No. He just has more progressive views. I think part of it stems from the fact that his father is ultra traditional conservative, so he probably developed dissenting opinions because he just didn't enjoy his father's worldview and sees his father's worldview as very antiquated and sheltered, I guess is a good way to put it. Something's wrong there. But yeah, I think it... I have toyed with the idea of bringing him on for civil debate. He's definitely much more informed on a lot of things than I am, I would say. But we have really, really interesting conversations, and I don't know, I think it could bring an interesting perspective to the community. But I don't think you guys would be interested in that, so I haven't really put that out there yet. You would like to debate my husband? I think the debate would be more for, like, me and him, not necessarily you, Beebs. But yeah, I think him and I have some really interesting conversations, and I genuinely enjoy the conversations that we have on certain topics, because when I look at our conversations together, if you were to look at things from my perspective is very rooted in I would say, like, if you were to put it in, like, D&D terms, like a lawful good kind of, or even a lawful neutral, not leaning towards lawful good kind of sense, and more traditional than him. And I guess my viewpoints would be more rooted in what is justice, right? Not what is socially right, necessarily. Whereas for him, everything that we discuss is always through the lens of economics. He is firmly rooted in economic thinking, and it's so interesting to see that, because and don't take this the wrong way, because I see how it could easily be taken the wrong way, But my husband always looks at things in terms of numbers. Numbers are the most important thing to him. And when he sees an issue, he will always look at it in terms of what is the most economically viable solution. It doesn't matter about how you feel about the situation, and in some cases, it doesn't necessarily matter about right and wrong. It's about what is the most economically beneficial to society. And I find that take so interesting. And that's why I said, like, we have very interesting conversations, because everything is always framed a bit in a way like, well, if you were to run the numbers, what is the most efficient way monetarily to do X, Y, and Z? At what point does it become like a waste? And it's so interesting to hear his thoughts on that. Why is that, BB? True. I see where you're coming from. And that is very true. So in the end, it was a huge net positive for us. I think, like, why I enjoy debating my husband so much is, even though I never ever claim to be the most informed, I never ever claim to be the most, level-headed in our conversations, but why I like debating him about these things is because I find his perspective extremely interesting. And I would say 99% of the time, we can always come to a middle ground, which is something that a lot of people struggle with doing, and that is what society struggles with doing right now, is that society cannot have dissenting opinions and come to a middle ground. It's always my way or the highway, and that's not a way to have healthy conversations. It really isn't. You can't have healthy conversations if you're never, ever willing to give up your moral or ethical high ground. There has to be in some way a middle ground. And that's kind of why our political landscape is a literal hellscape right now, is there are no middle grounds. It's one way or the other way, and we don't solve anything like that. You solve things by compromising. You solve things by learning to reach over the aisle and hear other opinions. That's true. There are some topics that we agree to disagree, but a lot of the times we can come to like a middle ground solution. I don't know about that, Pizza. I couldn't say. It's a good point to bring up, I would think. To be honest, if we're talking about the topic of aliens, whether you believe they exist or not, I don't think we're worth their time. The Great Filter, what the fuck is that? The fuck is the Great Filter? You talking about government? I agree. We probably would be used as entertainment. No, I have not heard of the Great Filter. Please enlighten me. That doesn't explain much to me. Yeah, Twitch has a character limit. Filter could be a barrier in our past, such as the emergence of life itself, or the future obstacle that could lead to its self-destruction, like... I mean, if I'm being so for real, I don't think we're worth conversing with. We fight over the most trivial of things. We can't even take care of our own people. We'd be like pandas to them. That's one way to put it, I guess. I mean, from my perspective, our civilization is so unequal in its distribution. Like, we have people who use technology in this world that no one else uses. And we literally have people who still don't have, like, have fresh water as part of their, like, daily life, you know? So, until we can sort out issues of, like, just basic humanities, I don't think we're gonna ever see another civilization want to interact with us. That's how I feel about it. Yeah, like, exactly that, Pizza. Like, we have a society where we can't even, like, get everybody to a basic, you know, livable state. And we want to talk about, you know, conversing with higher beings? I don't think so. Why would they ever want to talk to us? There's no reason for them to. A bunch of bald monkeys? I mean, I'm not bald, but sure. Oh, I agree, Pisa. I agree 100%. The fact that the medical industry is allowed to run in the way that it does in this country is a grievous, grievous injustice on the people of this country. You have medications that are out there that can cure certain things or at least make them more bearable, and they're not allowed to be out in the public eye because they say so. It's rather tragic. Like, we literally have medications out there for years that would stop or help with AIDS, and it took so long for those to be publicly accessible. At the time, like, only the best of the best celebrities and wealthy people could afford them. At least nowadays, like, it's actually something that's accessible. It's not cheap, but it's accessible. Just like, I wouldn't be surprised if there are some high-grade cancer treatments out there that don't involve you going through months and months of chemotherapy. But we'll never see them because we're too poor. Bro, you're too young to be tired of society. I'm not surprised at that fact at all, Luda. I believe it. The fact of the matter is, like, okay, so obviously, like, my husband and I just got married in February. We're coming up on 1 year anniversary, and we're moving towards having a family together, right? And it's just, it's genuinely tragic that we're in like discussions of, you know, starting a family, and one of our biggest concerns is that we get our health insurance through my husband's company right now, and they pay 90% of the health insurance. We literally pay, I don't know if it's 90% or it's like 80%, but the point is they pay a lot of the health insurance cost, which is fabulous. It's amazing. And the reality is that we would be paying, I think we're paying like 200 and something right now, like 280 for health insurance for 2 people per month. Like, together. That's the total cost. That's extremely cheap for our out-of-pocket cost for health insurance. Like, for context, if we were to take the health insurance plan that my job offers, where they're covering 50% of the cost, it would cost us about $1,000 a month. So even if we upgrade to the premium plan at my husband's office, we'd be paying about $450, I think. Still way cheaper than what we would be paying if we took the health insurance from my job. Our biggest concern right now isn't the logistics of having a baby. It's what do we do if my husband decides to change careers? Because right now he's looking for another job. And it happens around the time that the baby is born. And we don't have insurance. That is our biggest concern. Because a hospital visit for a baby, just a normal birth, not even including if you're getting like a C-section or if you have complications or if you have a preemie and you need to be in the NICU for a while, or all kinds of things, you know? Or if you have, you know, some kind of medical condition where that I end up in the hospital for 2 weeks because of birth complications. That's awesome, Luna. I wish we had that. We don't have that here. If we don't have insurance and we were to go to have a baby, the bill would easily be $30,000. And that's like $30,000 to be in and out in 2 days. I'm not joking you. That's how much having a baby costs in America. Like, we would still be saddled with paying our and again, exactly, Pisa, like I said, without complications. See, that's the benefit of working for an institution like a bank, is that they pay for a lot of stuff. But yeah, we would be in so much trouble if we didn't have insurance and we have this baby. It's genuinely one of our biggest concerns right now, because we don't know what's going to happen when I'm pregnant. I might have, you know, health complications. I might have preeclampsia. I might get gestational diabetes. I might not be able to keep food down. You know? There's so many complications that come with pregnancy that could land you in the hospital. And not having proper insurance, it's devastating. It truly is. Like, having a baby right now, we would still, even with our insurance, have to pay the deductible, which is, I think, like $6,000 or something like that. It's still not cheap. I wish that was the case here, Luna, but it is not, unfortunately. So when we have a baby soonish, within the next year, we're gonna have to go through all of that spiel. And like, I'm really thankful because my husband's mother is a nurse, and you know, they're not struggling for money, so if God forbid we ever needed assistance, they obviously would help us. But it's just like, I never want to be in that state where I have to ask someone else to do things like that for me. Like, we're adults. We should be able to handle our own finances. But it would suck to have to literally gut our savings to have a baby if we didn't have insurance. But that's just how it'd be right now. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. It's time we clean the slate for the planet. Oh god. Don't be a doomer, Pisa. Please don't be a doomer. I don't know if I can handle you being a doomer. Ugh, I got sniffles all of a sudden. A doomer is just like somebody who looks at everything in a very it's the world is ending doom and gloom kind of way, you know? Very much like the world is ending kind of people. No, I don't think it's gonna end in our lifetime. I think we should keep all medical tech and infrastructure, keep trains, planes, boats, infrastructure, but cut it by a factor of 10, then roll everything back to medieval peasantry, keeping Wi-Fi, medicine, and the ability for global commerce. Oh my god. You'll have some really interesting takes tonight, I'm not gonna lie. The truth is, like, in regards to medical things, I think it is possible for the US to have a social medical system. And I will be honest, I originally was very not for a social medical system because the idea of like, oh, me paying for other people's health needs didn't sit right with me. But the more I think about that subject and the more I have that conversation with my husband, there are ways that it can be done where it doesn't feel self-sabotaging in America. Because, like, my biggest gripe is that, like, again, for people who just sit around and do nothing, why should I pay for their health insurance? For people who don't want to take care of themselves, who don't want to exercise, why should I have to pay for their health insurance? But it would take quite a bit of social reform to achieve. Do you want everyone to be cat people? Listen, Pisa. Just because you're not an adult legally doesn't mean your opinion doesn't matter. You are, for lack of a better way of putting it, you are the next generation. My generation, while I'm not that much older than you, is not going to be around forever. So you having an opinion is very important. Don't discount your opinion just because you're a teenager. Okay? You should never feel like your opinion doesn't matter just because you're not as, or you perceive yourself to be not as informed as others. Okay? Because at some point you will be the predominant generation. Okay, I think I need to fix this. I think that's like the biggest problem is that insurance companies run the medical industry. was bad. Yes, you did say it snowed all day. It did not snow all day here, but it did snow last night, and I had about 4 inches of snow on my car that I wasn't expecting when I woke up this morning. I was actually surprised we got our first snow already. Okay. That's why it looks weird. There we go. The buttons now actually sit on the apron. Where they were like sitting on the edge before, which looked weird. I think I can bring this in a bit more. I hope so too. Like that. I think that's why this has taken me so long, is I don't think she's gonna like it, and I'm freaking out about it. Drink the water. Okay. Okay, that is correct, but then this needs to change. You have been away for quite a while. Listen, man, everybody's got life. You gotta do it. No matter whether you want to or not. We're never gonna fault you for taking care of things that you have to take care of. You just want to be done with school? I mean, you're about to hit winter break. I know it's not done with school, but, you know, it's progress. Have you thought about, like, what you want to do after school? Like, your future at all? Oh, get out of here. Why are you unsure all of a sudden? You mean the industry is expanding there? Is that what you mean? I mean, engineering will never, in my opinion, not be a viable career path. It's just a matter of, like, are you actually going to enjoy it? Because, like, as much as AI is moving into the workforce, it's going to be a while before it replaces engineers. There's just too many variables. Well, you still have time. Don't feel like you have to make a decision. You still have plenty of time. You have 8 years back? What does that mean? Yeah, I think that there's a big misconception in society where you have to have things figured out by the time you leave high school, and the reality is you don't. You really don't. If you want any truth to the context, Pisa, I knew what I wanted when I left high school. I graduated with outstanding credentials to go into college. I had college credits already under my belt, but I knew what I wanted. My brother had no idea what he wanted. He only decided after the fact what he wanted. And my husband changed majors 4 times. So you really don't need to know what you want. It's a good idea to have a general idea, but to be honest, you don't stop growing, like, mentally until you're, like, 25, and some people even longer than that. Now, I'm not saying you should start your career soul-searching at that age, but there's nothing wrong with taking a year or two to figure something out. And the other thing is, like, what a lot of people don't tell you is that there's absolutely nothing wrong with going to a community college. Just get all your elective credit BS out of the way. And then, like, from there, just decide from there. You could take 2 years at a community college, get all your electives out of the way, and then be like, okay, I decided I want to be a nurse, I want to be an engineer, I want to be a lawyer, and then go take all the classes that you need for that. There is no reason that you have to just be like, from the get-go, this is what I want, and this is what I'm going to do. Not at all. Don't let anybody tell you that that's what you have to be. It was different for me, because I knew what I wanted to be. I knew I wanted to be a designer. I knew that that's how I wanted to function for the rest of my life. But my friend, one of my best friends, and he's probably the most successful friend of that I have. He's making a really pretty 6-figure salary with a completely remote job at home in computer cybersecurity. He had no idea what he wanted when he left high school. Not at all. He went to community college for 2 years, and then he's like, okay, I'm actually pretty damn good at this programming thing. I'm gonna pursue programming. Now he makes a 6-figure salary, working from home. He goes into the office like once a week. He's in the process of considering to buy a house right now. He's doing great. So, like, you don't have to have all your shit figured out. Go to community college. It's cheap, it's affordable. You get all your elective credits out for a fraction of what they would cost if you went to a full college or a state college. There you go. See? Luna's blah, 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 blah. Words are hard. Luna is proof that you don't have to have things figured out. Just live your life, enjoy your life. But keep moving forward. Always move forward. I'm not worried about you, Pisa. You'll figure it out. Ooh, I didn't want to move that. Oh, she went live. This is really late for her. Hello, Erwin. Welcome. No Uma today. Uma on Friday. And then I am so excited. Oh my goodness. You have also jumped around majors, Luna. But good, I'm glad you're figuring out what you want. I'm so excited to do Uma Musume on the 18th, the last day before I go away for Christmas. I'm so excited because I have so many carrots saved up for big pulls. We're gonna do big pulls. I'm so excited. Been saving for like a freaking 2 months to pull on Kita-san. I can't wait. My brother's already got a maxed out Kita-san. Alfonso's already got a maxed out Kita-san. I don't have a maxed out Kita. I have one Kita-san on my PC account, so I want to see if I can get her to MLB. I think I can. I'm excited. You too? You're definitely telling the truth. I don't even think you know what game I'm talking about, Pizza. Oh, you do? That's right, you were here for the early Uma Musume streams. I haven't been streaming it much because I've just been grinding for the in-game currency and not doing very much else. But I will say they've had... Oh, you're keeping tabs. Alright, alright. No, I don't want that like that. I want... Apron. But yeah, I mean, mostly just grinding to get stuff done in the game. But now that the big stuff is about to drop, I'm like super excited. Did I play it this week? You mean last week? Yeah, I think that's the biggest misconception about game design, is people think it's all fun and games. No pun intended. But people really think it's all, like, gonna be fun and you get to be creative and stuff, but that's not how it actually is. There's a lot of work involved in becoming a game designer. I thought about becoming one for a while. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this. This sounds like a lot of fun. And then I realized how hard it actually is and how time-consuming it is and how many skills you actually need to have to do it. And I'm not saying I couldn't do it. I certainly could. But I think my life would have taken a much different trajectory, and I'd probably be screwed right now, if I'm being honest, because the games industry is imploding. And there's a lot of people losing their jobs. See, that's my issue. I'm not a coder. I can't code. I took a coding class in high school, and it was like reading hieroglyphics to me. I passed, but I don't think I could get much further than that. So I don't think I could ever be in like the comp-sci or coding major. So when my husband tells me things about his job where he's coding things, I'm like, uh-huh. I don't know what you're saying, but sure. You had coding in middle school? That's crazy. Yeah, I totally see why that could be complicated, Luna. Alright. Now that we have this, I actually am gonna move this layer up. Oh dear. Oh dear, no. Okay, this works. I just have to do some housekeeping. I'm gonna have to touch this up manually. Oh, this is too big. Okay. Now we color. Thank you, Pizza. I think this is the longest I've ever spent on an art piece. It's been like 5 days. I mean, granted, I get very distracted when talking to you guys, which is not a bad thing. Do not take that as a bad thing. It's just like... It's part of the paranoia that this is for someone that I know personally versus just like randomly drawing stuff for my own entertainment. And also, I feel so out of practice. Don't play CS with it? It's awful? What does that mean? Oh, Counter-Strike? I mean, why would you be playing Counter-Strike with a tablet? That sounds like a terrible idea. You don't want to go to school tomorrow? I mean, I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You gotta go to school. I think it's a bad thing that Flame is streaming now during your school hours, because you're gonna get distracted. Just think of it as a stepping stone. It'll be over eventually. And trust me, there's a very high chance that you'll end up missing it. Most people miss it at least a little bit. It's a lot more freedom when you're in high school. A lot less things to worry about. I think it's his second to last year. Hiya. Okay. I will check in on her too, actually. Hehehe. Oh shit, she playing Harvest Moon. Oh, silly sister. Hmm. Alrighty, we're making progress. Any plans for Christmas? Yeah, so our family is actually going to be away from the 19th to... Actually, I think we're leaving on the 20th. We're leaving on the 20th. So the 20th to the 28th, we're going to be down in Florida with our grandmother because she can't travel anymore. So we're going to go up to see her. Or down to see her, rather. So we will not be streaming during that week. Yeah, we're just gonna spend Christmas with Grandma. Be pretty basic. Nothing crazy. And it's really funny because, like, my parents are like, aren't you, like, upset you're not gonna spend Christmas with your husband? And I'm like, yes and no. Yes, because, you know, it is technically our first Christmas as a married couple, I guess. But no, because he's not a super big person. Like, he's not super into Christmas. And yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, that's our plans. Very, very basic. Nothing crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna change this to a softer brush. Hi, Nom! Oh, that's the eraser side. That would explain why it's not drawing. No, I want this to be... bigger. How art thou? I'm pretty good. Finally making some progress on this thing. Figured out how to raid yet? No. I have not. Don't blame me. I'm sure if I look it up, I'll find it. I just haven't looked it up. Oh, okay. Backslash raid. That's all I have to do. Easy. Alright, I know this part of her body is not done yet, but I think I'm at the point where I'm gonna just start shading her because I can't do it, man. What the fuck happened? What's happening? Why is that like that? I'm an idiot. Gotta fix all these color boo-boos first. Look at all these blank spots. I can't believe she's playing Harvest Moon. Alright, now the question is, what is this gibberish on? Ah, it's on the sweater layer. That was easy. Get out of here. That's okay, Pizza. Don't feel obligated to stick around here. She is playing a game. It's way more interesting. Let's see. You want to make a VTuber model? It is a long and arduous process. I do suggest, Luna, if you really want to make one, start with Vroid Studio. It definitely has a learning curve, but it's a lot easier to learn than what my brother did. I give my brother a lot of props for what he did, because, like, honestly, drawing out the whole model is freaking hard. It's not easy. Oh my god, this looks so much better with shading. I was really, really upset with how this was coming out, but this looks so much better once I started shading. Even a little bit of shading. I'm actually blown away with how much better it looks with even just a smidge of shading. Yeah, the shading makes it look so much better. Your favorite chatter has returned. Welcome back. The shading makes this look so much better. I was really upset with how this was coming out, but the shading really has made this so much better. I know people like to say trust the process, but sometimes I don't even trust my own process, Pizza. Well, you know, a lot of artists have, like, imposter syndrome, and I can't say that I'm absolved of that trait. I know I'm not, like, the tip-top best artist out there, and not drawing for several months has definitely weakened my confidence, for sure. That's why when my sister asked for this, I was like, oh, I can do it. And I was like, this should be easy. And then I realized how out of practice I was. I'm like, oh my god, this is going to be terrible. Thank you, Pizza, for the vote of confidence. I mean, you also need to understand from my perspective, like, I don't think I'm a bad artist, per se, but I'm definitely not... I could definitely be better, like a lot better. And I know that that takes hours and hours of practice that I don't have. And that I 100% don't have the time for either. So I just have to suffice with being an okay artist. And hope that my sister doesn't hate me. No, I don't think she's gonna hate me, but... I guess my biggest fear with this is that she's gonna think that the AI... that she'll like the AI image that she has more than what I draw for her. I guess that's where my fear comes from. Because that little AI icon that she has, she made with ChatGPT, and obviously it's a cat, it's not a bear, but, like, it worries me that my art isn't good enough to compete with AI. I guess that's where my hesitancy comes from. It's like, if she can generate something that nice with AI, then what does she need me for? Does that make sense? Because if I'm being honest, like, the AI image is super cute. Oh, this looks so much better. It looks so much better with the shading. It's actually crazy how much better it looks with the shading. Yeah, I know, I know. I don't like AI for those reasons, because it makes artists feel like they're not worth anything. It's like fun to use as a tool, but it can be really detrimental. Oh, I have to change that color if I'm gonna do that. I don't know about kill, but yeah, I see where you're coming from. I appreciate the vote of confidence. I really do. Look, I'm happy if you guys are following my sister. I am not the type of sister who's gonna be like, oh, you guys are all abandoning me for her. I really am not gonna get upset about it. I'm happy that she's embracing this. I'm happy she's embracing this chapter of her life in the way that she is. Because when we first pitched this to her a year ago about her becoming a VTuber, she was like, this is silly. I don't think I could do this. And now that she, you know, she's left her job and she's like trying to forge her own path as an adult, she's seeing that like she has potential to do so much. She just has to have the confidence to do it. So I'm excited to see how far she can take it, because if I'm being honest, I think she can go a lot further than me and Flame can. She's cute. She's got a great model concept. I love how her model came out. You know, she likes comfy streaming. She's a really great crafter. She has nice hands, which is great for a person who does hand cam streams. She has really nice nails. Like, it's the little aesthetic things that make a huge difference in how a stream feels. And I think she has what it takes to do what she wants to do. I was about to say his other name. You're right, you're right. I won't lie. But yeah, I really do think she has a lot of potential, and I'm really curious to see how far she can take this. I would like to see her hit, you know, a notable sub count. I don't know if she'll get to like a livable wage sub count, but if it even is just a supplementary... Oh my god, this looks so fucking cute. I'm so happy with how this came out. You have no idea. I think we do have the potential to do it. It's just like, I think Flame and I are focusing on the wrong things. And I need to like buckle down and focus on what I keep saying I'm gonna do instead of just saying I'm gonna do it. And once I start doing that, I think I'll be okay.
Sister, what do these words mean? Are you gonna send me a picture? Did you send me something somewhere? Or I just pulled up your stream. I can't hear. But what's wrong? I'm so upset with how this is coming out, but it's so much better with shading. It is a lot better with shading. I agree. Yeah, it was a little. Oh, the ears are cute. The little fluffies and the headband. Oh, look at the little plant filling around my head. If anybody's listening, my sister's drawing me a little chibi of my model, and it's starting to look cute.
Yeah, I was watching Momo. I just wanted to hear her response. I always forget I have to change this to multiply. Okay, okay. I'm so, like, focused. I'm not even paying attention to anything. Okay, I am tired already. Jesus. I can't believe how tired I am. Shading always makes me so tired. Okay. I'm burnt out. Alright, everybody, thank you for watching, and if you've jumped over to my sister's channel, thank you for watching her as well. I will be back tomorrow with Apex. But yeah, have a wonderful night, everybody, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Hi, Arctic. I'm about to end stream. Thanks for stopping by, though. I'm rating my sister's stream so you can watch her play, I believe she's playing Harvest Moon. Sorry. You guys both arrived at the same time. Sorry. Yeah, I'm done for today. I've burnt myself out, but I made a lot of progress. The shading looks really good on her. The top of her hair, at least. But yeah, enjoy my sister's stream. Bye!